Hi, I'm HaZ Dulull, and I'm the director of Max Beyond.
Get up and look down so you don't know me.
Yeah. There's police sirens or commotion outside. You go look out there.
Max Beyond is an insane animated film which combines my love of anime, cyberpunk, sci-fi, and just good, wholehearted story.
All right, Max, let's get out of here.
The story is about a PTSD Marine that goes to extreme measures to rescue his little brother Max from a medical facility. The reason why is because Max has the ability to tap into multiverses and distort the fabric of time and space. But the more he does that, the weaker he gets. So will Max find the right reality where his brother saves him, or will he not? The really condensed version of how this movie was made is basically a script. Script is king. No matter what technology you have, it's all about the script. And then the second thing is having the guts to say, we're gonna go make this movie. Once you go through that phase, you start just mapping the movie out. When you go through the script, break it down, what are the shots, what are the scenes, what are the assets required, what are the environments, you start having this big shopping list of things, and that's kind of equals to who you hire as well. You start mapping that out, right? And that's where producers like Paula Crickard will come in and start allocating cost and time to that. Once you start doing that, we go straight into previs. But we haven't even gone into mocap yet. We haven't even had the final characters, but I had a gray version of the character to start blocking the shots out. And once I started blocking out the shots and just exporting out these previs, low-res, QuickTimes, H.264s, put it in my Davinci Resolve, and put some temp music in and put some subtitles, and it became very apparent what the movie is going to be shaped into. And then what we end up doing is, once the characters get updated, we just re-render the previs. We had done previs in the exact software and environment section, which is Unreal Engine. So literally it was right-click, update mesh, and then we had the updated mesh. And that meant that everyone could work in a very agile way, in a very iterative way. So the fact that we can all work on the scene together, I'll block out the scenes, I'll hand it to Mark Cheng, who would go and add more animation in. I'll hand it to Sam Rabella, who then do the lighting and environments. And then we do mocap, which Gabriella was one of my first collaborators that handled motion capture. Miles Lowe, who our lead animator, would go and start to do facial. That's just one scene that everyone can dive into. Everyone has a thumbprint on the sequence or the shot. I love that. So that really helped massively. Once we had done that process, we then start rendering 4K EXRs. This entire movie is rendered out as 4K EXR frames out of one single NVIDIA A6000 graphics card. And the cool thing is, the editorial took place on the same machine and the same GPU, which meant that I had Unreal open, I had Davinci Resolve open, I would render my shots out in sort of like a render queue, and then open Resolve, drag it in, and once I dragged in my EXRs, and I have to make it very clear, we're not even doing proxies here. We're just using the raw EXRs. Again, very rare in the editorial process. But here's where it gets really cool. So I'll go back into Unreal, I make the changes, and I render it out again. But instead of re-rendering EXRs, I just overwrite the EXRs. So once we go in there, we start doing a color grade, I'll start doing a temp sort of look. Once we had the first reel, I'll then start sending it to my colorist, Vanessa, who just took what I thought was cool and just elevated it way better. And so you can see here, it's a very collaborative process. With this project, mainly because we're using things like Unreal Engine, I had a lot of time to figure out what the movie is, but most importantly, I had a bit of a luxury to figure out my voice as a filmmaker on this.
Shall we?
Take him down.
Climax. Max Beyond. Available now on digital.